Hey, just Toby. Mwah.
Wow.
Hi, just Toby.
Hi, just Toby.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a sting break.
Hi, just Toby.
Hi, just Toby.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hi, just Toby.
Hi, just Toby. I just have to, think your dreams about.
Hi, just Toby.
Hi, just Toby. Hi, just Toby.
Hi, just Toby.
Are we ready? Yeah, let's do it. All right. Well, what did we do last time? There. All right. As soon as we get the green light, we're gonna go.
You're already going, man.
Oh, fucking A. Let me finish my little guy, little goatee. Swallow that meat, sir. Swallow that meat. You gotta open the throat hole. How you doing, Toby?
I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you for the invite.
Oh man, it was my great honor to have you here because I want to learn from you.
I don't. Yeah, no. I'm so sorry,
Man, whatever you got to tell me, because for everybody tuning in, Toby is
Hi, how are you?
a really well-known photographer in the drag world. Is that safe to say?
I guess so.
Well, if you are into drag, I'm pretty sure they have seen your work.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a drag photographer here in
Yeah.
Atlanta and around.
So how did you get into the drag world? Did you just,
Girl.
Yeah.
It was I was working the corporate world,
Yeah.
and I moved here with a partner at the time, and I met a RuPaul girl, and we became friends, and I started doing her social media, and she saw my pictures from a hobby. It was a hobby.
Right.
And she said, you should try to do a drag queen. And I
Right.
was like, I'm fucking intimidated by them. I was scared, but I was like, I'm going to meet the girls.
Right.
And I shot one queen here. Her name is Eva Destruction.
God, I love the names. I
Yeah.
absolutely love
Right?
the names. Well, the one thing that I noticed there's no shortage at all is wit in the drag world.
Yeah.
They are so quick with that.
Thank
I
you.
used to think I was witty.
This is going to be a witty conversation
I
tonight.
can't wait. But so I'm introduced to the whole thing because of my wife. My wife loves RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, and that's how we met.
And that's how
I
we
was
met.
shooting an event.
The drag tour, RuPaul's drag tour.
One of the tours, and I was shooting them in the back
Yeah.
at center stage.
Yeah,
and
center
we were
stage.
right there, and we met. And
Yep.
I think your girl knew
Yeah.
me. She was
Yeah.
already following me.
Yeah, my
some-
wifey knew you. She knew you because, like I said, if you're a fan of the drag world, they more than likely have seen your work. And she
Yeah.
saw your work, and she said we were at the show, and this is my first drag show.
You were taking your camera.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I have no so I went right first experience ever going to a live
really?
drag show. Yeah, because I'm fairly new
That's
into it,
crazy.
but it makes me laugh, which is what I love.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious. So it was her birthday. She wanted to go, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check it out. And I had my camera, and I bumped into you, and then we started talking, and then I
And then
was.
we have Instagram and Facebook friends.
Yeah, what's your info?
We
We were
became
showing each other our
picture-
shots, like, I'm pretty sure it was like, hey, show me yours, and
Yeah.
I'll show you mine. And then,
Well, I'm
Boom.
always up for that.
boom. And then
If your girlfriend's okay with that.
she loves when gay guys hit on me. And
Really?
yeah. Every time we go to anywhere, and there's got to be one gay guy that's always like trying to eye fuck
Really
me.
on your
Or they're
They're like-
they come by me, and just do like the little fake rub, and then kind of get a little squeeze in. She thinks it's the funniest fucking thing in the whole fucking world. But it's very flattering to me. I'm like, I always tell her, I was like, hey babe, if it never works out, I got options.
I got options.
I got options.
So I shot that that
Yeah.
boy, and it came out really great, and people liked it, and this drag queen loved it too, and she's like, hey, my friend Bendela Cram is coming into town. You should talk to her.
Right.
And I did. So I shot her, and then after that, I think it was Adore Delano.
I adore Delano, I know. I'm learning. I'm learning of. I'm trying to go like one at a time and trying to.
And I
figure 'em out.
honestly did not know anything about this,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't know how to edit. I just got like elements
Yeah.
and I YouTubed like how to do the
YouTube's
basic
the
stuff.
best teacher, man.
Yeah, it's your best teacher.
Who needs
'Cause
school? You don't need school.
You can
No, stay in
you
school.
can pause it. That's the thing. You can
Yeah.
pause it, and instead of like going
Yeah,
to a
no,
teacher,
and-
be like, "Can you repeat that again? Can you do it on like explain it with sticks?"
And they're like, no, don't bother me right now. I'm trying to grade papers here.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, like just give
And
me
it
the
lit-
attention
it
that I
literally-
crave.
It literally went from one thing to another,
Yeah.
and it, like in 1 year, like I started
Just like that.
at the beginning of fall, and then by December I was booked at the RuPaul's Drag Race cruise,
Damn.
which is crazy.
So how long is that cruise? And that must be an
It
insane
was
fucking
7
cruise.
days stuck with drag queens, which is fun,
Yeah.
and not stuck, but like you're with super fans
Right.
that know everything about these queens, and it's like
Were there like face-offs between fan bases? Like
Yeah.
who's better than who, and
I don't know. I mean,
or they were just like
who has
going
the
up-
biggest line or
Mm.
and stuff like that. But it would be so weird to go into our floor and have people like creep around waiting for
Oh.
the queen to come out, and she's like, "Is such queen out in there?" I'm like, "Nope."
That
Nope.
was, and you can't. There's nowhere to go. You're
No.
on a fucking boat,
Right.
in the middle of the freaking
Right.
ocean. Oh man.
Oh my god.
How much of that was it? Was it just constantly? Were you always like looking around, looking for like the little?
It was 24/7
the
work.
groupies, right? Yeah, groupies, little groupies.
Yeah, 24/7 work, and it was amazing. And then I got to become friends with a lot of those queens.
Yeah.
And I had gone to already to the premiere of season 6
Okay. Which was season 6? Season
with
6
Ben
had-
de la Creme and
Okay.
Bianca Del Rio.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a good one. She was funny, and then she got
She was funny. Yeah, she was
stand up
funny.
now, right? She's doing a bunch of stand up.
Yeah, you should
there's a movie.
post pictures of people I've shot.
Yeah, no, definitely. I
on-
will. There'll be
on the
links
thing.
and all that, but
Because that's where I met Bianca Del Rio. She won season 6,
was on season 6.
and she's one of the most famous queens, I think, that won RuPaul's Drag Race.
I think so too. She's
And that photo
she got her movie on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
I think I caught a bit of it.
Hurricane Bianca.
Yeah, I caught a bit
She
of that.
has a book now called Blame It on Bianca, which my picture's in there apparently.
You got the photos on the book?
I have one picture in there,
You got
so
your copy? You got your copy yet?
pre-sale.
Pre-sale,
I hope I get that copy.
signed. Wait, there you go. Okay, so here's the one thing, and you tell me if this is true.
No.
The damn it, I fucking knew it. No. So the one thing that I see in your photos that I think you can accomplish because of the subjects that you have, is the amazing amount of color in all the shots.
I love colors.
It's just
I love
it's
art.
so vibrant.
Yeah. Give me. I've always loved colors, obviously. And when my dad was always, my parents were always taking me to museums, and I was like, love anything that had bright colors or like
Right.
impressionist or cubist.
So
And I
how
like
lucky
to
do you
bring that.
feel to have like because they go
They go out there,
crazy
yeah.
all out with makeup and the wardrobe and the costuming and all that. So it's like a kid in the candy store because you have access to all
It
these
is,
colors.
and sometimes I just ask them like, I want this. I love lash. I ask for lashes,
Yeah.
lips. I mean, all about. I'm big on the eyes, and if you can go out there, go with me, because I think I can take you out there.
I would love to. I would love to go check all that stuff out. Because again, like I love color, and you're usually stuck with like a certain palette when you're
Yeah,
doing
when a queen.
with a queen.
And this
There
is
is
not
no palette.
targeted to any queen. If a queen gives me a simple dress,
Right.
it was one color, and like basic day makeup, I'm like,
Where's the fun in that?
yeah, what do you want me to do with
There's no
that?
fun in that. Like I get it, but that's like an everyday look.
Girl,
But if you're
I'm
gonna have a
like-
photo,
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't want to be cocky, but I shoot really amazing queens, and I'm like, we're doing this together.
Right.
Let's make something fucking amazing happen,
right?
Oh, are we having
Laszlo?
Laszlo's
I'm
changed?
screwing with
Mr.
this.
Laszlo.
She,
Hi, Laszlo.
she is screwing
I'm
with
doing
my
what I
lighting.
can. I'm trying to fix some problems on my end, so bear with me. But
Everybody's
just keep
favorite
talking.
background voice,
Yeah,
Mr. Laszlo.
and
The worst.
I have
I'm
a
the
pro.
worst.
I have a process with shooting these girls,
Okay, I want to know.
and my thing is, like, first impression. Imagine your first impression through a lens. So tell me how you are. Who are you? Not everybody knows drag race or a queen or the subject. So I want you to show me through your character, who are you through that picture? Like,
Right.
what's your pose or what's your, imagine you're performing for me. So
Right. It's just it's a private show
yeah,
for the camera.
for the camera. And it's very intimidating. I'm sure your people that you shoot are like, because when I get in front of the camera, thank God this is a small little camera. I get like, I'm like,
yeah, no, it's
intimidating.
It definitely takes a certain skill
yeah,
to just be natural in front of the camera.
it's hard.
Yeah.
I had a photo shoot with like 8 or 9 queens, and 2 of them were like, I don't know what to do. I
Okay,
mean,
so
you are really intimidating. I'm like, because I've gotten to a point I just like, do this, do that, no. And I give faces.
Right.
I like,
So, like, how crazy is the set with 9 drag queens? I can only imagine it. I know it's loud. It has to be loud for one, right? And I'm sure there's powder everywhere in the
There's
atmosphere.
everything
There's
around.
makeup floating everywhere.
it's pretty artistic because if they bring their A game,
Yeah.
it's just on such an amazing vibe of energy and like this like artsy and crafty, like they're all so intense
Have you ever been on a shopping spree with a drag queen while she's gathering all her
the
materials?
fucking time.
How's that experience when you're just sitting in the art store just going, this will look good right across, bam, right
Yeah, I mean I have 1 or 2 that I shop constantly with. One is Jay Lish.
there. Jay Lish.
Jay Lish.
Jay Lish.
And I was just on a work trip with her.
I'm telling you, these names are awesome.
Girl, there was one called Mona Lot, and I swear I didn't fucking get out until like the 3rd or 4th time. I'm like, Mona Lot. I'm like, oh.
I get it because you like to moan.
I mean, sometimes I'm so ESL.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You just gotta like pull back.
Yeah.
Back to like 3rd grade English lessons where you were like, what does that mean?
you have to bring it all together.
What does that mean? Dictionaries? What encyclopedias
Yeah.
I must have? The
But it's intense. I mean, and shopping is fun because you're just like, oh, you can do this, you can do that, and like, oh, I already have that, and we can do this with that.
right. So you get to go and kind of construct your color palette right before the shoot. So you get to go out
And
there.
then I get like lip gloss for myself. I get all like I
All the
needed stuff for
goodies,
my
the
hair.
luxuries.
I got all my hair, and she was like, "Oh, you need to buy this, 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 this." I mean, this one's from Jay Lish.
Yeah.
My birthday. I was like, She moved to a different house, and all her drag was there. I was like, I was like, I love this jacket.
How long do you usually have to stay inside of a store? Like just
Oh, it's in and out. Like
Really?
like maybe 30 minutes. They're
that's-
very like specific, and there's so much. It's like going to Sam's.
see that's the one guy thing that stays all the time. Most guys, you're in and you're out.
Yeah, and they're guys.
That's what I'm
Most
saying.
of
And so
them.
it's like we know what we want, we go in, we go out. Like
Yeah.
not spending 4 hours. All right, that's cool. That's cool to know. I would think it was the opposite.
But being on a shoot like that, it's just you have to have a really intense personality.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be sitting down there and be like,
Well, I could imagine you can't be quiet. You can't
No.
be like timid.
no, because the funny thing about some of these queens is that they are so different as boys.
Yeah.
Like when they're as their boy persona,
Mm-hmm.
they're just like most of them are reserved, or they have their quirky personality.
Right.
But once they put that whatever item it is, they turn into a character,
Right.
and that character is a whole different persona.
No, I
And
get
it's
it.
like-
I get it.
It's your drag persona.
It's whatever. I don't know what it is about it. When you are in full costume, it's almost like a bubble of hiding the real you, right? So you can
Yeah.
just go all out and not care because this is my character. This is the
Yeah.
larger than life character.
Yeah, and RuPaul says you're born naked and the rest is drag.
That's true.
Because
That's
we always are carrying our drag. Even my name is a drag name,
Oh my.
but I'm not gonna tell you my real name. But
No, the only name that I want to know is Toby. That's all I
that's
know.
right,
Is
and
Toby.
I hate it when people are trying to figure it out. I'm like, you can figure it out. It's online somewhere.
Yeah, everything's online. Once it gets on the internet,
It's online.
It's always on the
And they're like, and they try to tease me. I don't like it. I was teased and bullied when I was a kid,
right.
and I just don't like it.
So
I mean,
That was a drag name.
is Laszlo a drag name? It should be a Laszlo.
Yeah, I never knew it was a drag name, but I've got a drag name apparently.
Oh,
Well,
you
then
looked
you're
it up?
halfway there. Now
No.
you need the stockings and some high heels.
Well,
And you're good
Laszlo's
to
not
go.
my real name, so it's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see?
There you go.
But when I had my name was given to me by my first boyfriend, sort of. Yes, I'm a homosexual.
You know, I did not know.
It's a breakthrough. We're
Breaking barriers.
breaking barriers right now.
Breaking barriers. See how easy that is?
Yeah.
Do
Do you feel comfortable now?
Oh, I
Or
feel
uncomfortable?
super comfortable. I've had some of the best stories that I've accumulated over life has involved a drag queen at some point for
Yeah.
whatever reason. Like one of my favorite ones is I was shooting a Halloween party,
Oh, Halloween
know?
party.
and it was for a gay club. It
Ooh.
was I think it's called Rush. Is it Rush or Lush? Hush.
Rush. Right on
Beaufort Highway.
Beaufort.
Yeah, Beaufort.
Beaufort Highway.
And this was years ago.
Yeah.
And so it was a Halloween party, and I used to shoot for the club, and all their other nights because they have multiple nights. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Gay night, come out, shoot. I was like, yeah, sure, it'll be fun. So I'm out there, and
I'm gonna read
I
for
see,
you my,
yeah,
my
please,
juice,
please,
but
please.
I'm still looking.
Get
and
the
you paying
go-go
attention.
juice. So I see the Scorpion.
Oh my god.
From Mortal Kombat, just eyeing me. I could tell he was
Really?
eyeing. Oh yeah.
Is it drag queen?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a drag queen. He was just dressed as Scorpion.
Scorpion.
You know. And I'm doing my thing. I'm taking photos, and over my shoulder, I hear "Get over here," and a hand come right between my legs and cups me
That's
and
delicious.
pulls me towards him. Right.
Did you have something to grab on?
Yeah, he grabbed
Yeah.
the whole fucking thing. Like, literally, that was his little spear move, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was like, I need an adult. What's
I need
going on?
supervision here.
And
me.
I turn around, and he's just, he has his mask, but I could tell he's laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
And I hopped over that bar so fast. I was like,
You're like,
bartender,
"Don't fucking touch
help me. I need, I
need a cup.
I need some assistance at the moment. Can I stay here for a few minutes? Thank
Just
you.
to chill.
I'm gonna let Scorpion find Sub-Zero over there somewhere. I believe the booty shaking contest in about 10 minutes, so he'll scatter. And then, but
Was
that
he a
was
drag
one of
queen?
the-
Oh, just
It was just
Or it was a gay bar
It was a
situation.
gay guy in a Scorpion costume, and he was eyeing my goodies, and he got a
your goodies. You know, I used to when I was just younger, and I wasn't doing stuff publicly.
Yeah.
I would talk to people and say, "Hi, my name is such and such. You know, I'm Toby. What's your name?" And it's give me your handshake. I would just grab your crotch,
That's one way.
and
mean,
I always got
break
away
the
with
ice
it.
immediately.
I was young, cute.
But see, you can't get away
Thirsty.
with that nowadays. I want to think like everybody's so easy to just yell,
Yeah,
That's all.
but I mean, I was like, why would I ever do that? I was so young, but. And sometimes I go back to Jacksonville where I used to live,
Right.
and people still do that to me, and I'm like, oh my god, don't touch my junk. I'm like, you used to do this all the time. What's wrong with you, Mike? And now that I do something, I mean, I'm not
grown up. I'm not that
hugely,
person anymore.
I'm not hugely famous, but I'm known certain areas, and I'm like, anything I do now is under scrutiny, like.
Under a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
How's that feel though? How does
Horrible. I'm scared of posting anything on Facebook. Like any emotions I have, I like to keep it neutral because then you'll get criticized. Like if you're gonna put something out there, you'll be ready for getting.
You just can't feed into it. Because
You know what I mean?
is,
I have a lot of drag queens, and a lot of people from the community, and very vocal people that will just go attack you. They'll attack you online, but when you see them in person, they're like, they won't say anything to you, or they'll be so fake.
Right.
So I don't post much.
Well, it's kind of getting that.
I try to post with my work, and plus, I got doing social media for other people, which I do that too.
Shout out when you need your
Social media,
Just call Toby.
just Toby.
That's a commercial right
Right now,
there. Jingle and all.
check the website.
Bling, 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 bling. Somewhere right there.
So I get tired of posting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I don't want to post anything about me. Like I get so mad sometimes, and I just want to. I write it down. I'm like, I can't say that.
Well,
I
the
can't
thing with
say
social
that.
media, in this conversation that pops up a lot, because I feel that as a society, we're starting to see what social media really is. I think, where it's just it's a window into
The world.
a fake image that people portray. You know. You said something that I don't agree with, and if two people agree with you and your dislike of whatever you were hating on, then all of a sudden you feel like you're getting more power, so now you're being more aggressive, and it just snowballs. And at some point, I would like to think that same person would be, damn, what did I do? Like
Right.
I went in on a little bit of hate, and then now I have
just
this
became a
huge storm of just negative, ugh,
Yeah.
and you can't get rid of it because once it's on the internet, it's on
there.
the internet.
I posted something about a restaurant in Atlanta,
Yeah.
not a restaurant bar, and I was so pissed. And I don't get pissed very often. And I posted online and I rated the place a 1. And I go there often. And I was like, this place is amazing, but that service tonight really, ruined it for me.
That sucks.
Girl. Boom, 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 boom. Like, messages
Oh no.
within like
You
20,
were targeted.
30 minutes.
Oh.
The staff contacted me. The manager contacted me. I mean, they wanted a phone conversation. I mean, it was
But was it because they were mad or because
no, they were
wanted to
like
fix the problem?
They wanted to fix the problem
Oh, that's good.
because they knew I'm really nice.
Right.
I'm pretty nice. I might be bitchy and cunty,
It's okay. I'm not offended. I'm not triggered.
but I hope you're not offended.
Please don't be triggered.
Please.
Please don't be triggered.
And I was just so mad.
Yeah.
And it was a simple issue. I was with. I'm not even gonna say the issue because then they'll figure it out.
Yeah. No.
But I
like with food, like that, I just stay off of it because I
Yeah.
feel they remember faces and be like, oh, I got your 1 fucking star right here.
Right.
There you go.
I have
on the house.
I have one of my favorite drag queens, which is also Jay Lish's best friend. They are co-hosts for they created the Other Show, which is it's called the Other Show. It's
the Other Show. That's a
great name. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
But Edie is she's beautiful, talented, smart, and she posts anything online. It could be the nicest thing, and people misconstrue it, and then they just attack her because she has that power
right
in our community, and then they just.
It's
And sometimes it's like,
you just can't, and you if you're gonna be
and she
in this
means so
kind of-
well.
yeah, like you got to put out what you want to put out, and then just almost ignore all the comment section because there's no way you're gonna please everybody.
It's hard.
I know it's hard, but it's once you kind of get that to that point, then you won't feel as afraid. Because trust me, even doing this, I know I'm gonna get some some shit probably
I'm
over
sure I
episode
have.
1 because
Not as much shit as I'm getting for this.
the because I'm a big fan of the food in this area outside of Atlanta. So
Yeah.
I might have talked a little shit about in the perimeter food. I'm sure somebody from the in perimeter is gonna be like, "What you mean overpriced, nasty shit?" So look, I like all food. Okay.
I mean,
Don't be
some
mad
places
at
are
me.
expensive.
I mean, for what I can get out here, I can get a lot more, and it's delicious. It's
Don
absolutely
Pedro's?
delicious. Don Pedro's, for example. I would plug Don Pedro's. Fuck that. I know Don Pedro's since they were a taco truck. Going up and down Buford Highway. And then they got this little...
It's delicious.
It's delicious. And then they got like their first spot on Buford Highway, right down the street from here.
Yeah.
And now I think they got 5.
That's
Call it
crazy.
tacos ever, man. Like,
I
ooh,
love tacos.
so good.
I mean, I don't. I stay in the same. Eat in the same places in my area.
Yeah. What food are you into?
I love wings.
Wings?
I like to suck on a bone.
Wink. What's how do you like? Do you like them? You like them spicy? You like those,
I love-
those spicy
I-
bones?
Um,
Spicier the better.
I
Lick your
like.
fingers afterwards.
I like if the restaurant has a different sauce, like unique sauce. Like I saw a strawberry sriracha sauce. I forgot what it was, but it was
That was
fucking
good?
delicious.
Strawberry sriracha.
You would think it's disgusting, but it's
Yeah.
fucking delicious.
Is it like sweet and spicy?
I don't know. I can't even describe it. It was
It's
so
just-
good.
It's just heaven.
Um,
Heaven on a bone.
I like spicy ones. I really love roasted ones.
Those roasted ones are good.
because they're plump and just
juicy.
juicy.
Just
I
suck the
just-
juice right off that bone.
I just suck the juices of everything.
So much sucking. So how different it is being on the set of RuPaul's with the drag queens, because you work with them both on set and off set, right?
No, I wish one day I can work on the set. I work with like at premieres, finales. They invite me, which is amazing.
Yeah, and
And then happened. It was just I just got an email one day. Hey, we've seen your work. You want to do this? I'm like, yeah.
yes, please.
Yes, please. So I use it for my platform, which is quite intimidating because this last one I was in New York City for All Stars 3.
How fun was that?
It was amazing. And
How
it
long
was
were you there?
I was there for a week. And usually I go and work and try to get as many gigs as I can.
Yeah.
Like I'll reach out to people I know or future queens. From
Up in New York. How's
Yes.
how's the queen scene in New York?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go because there's a million queens there.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Bob the drag queen. She won RuPaul's Drag Race season 8.
Spoilers. Wait, what
I mean,
season? What season are we? What season is it on now?
9. We're about to go up to 10.
God.
Hey
Jesus
man, like
Christ.
I said, I'm catching up. I'm still learning some of these phrases. One of the phrases that actually hooked me, which threw me like out of nowhere, and it just kind of
Which one? What was it?
complicated my
It blew your mind.
my mind.
Where's the
'Cause
emoji?
I was
mind-blowing emoji.
I was walking by my bedroom and my wife's watching RuPaul's, and at that point I knew of it, but I hadn't watched it yet. And all I hear is, "Hey, I've become untucked," and I was like, "What does that
Untucked.
mean?" And Gina's like, my wife Gina, she's like, "Yeah, you know about tucking?" I was like,
Did she tuck your balls?
"Well, she actually had to do that for a drag queen once. I don't remember the drag queen's name, but
It's quite
but
intense.
She loves the world of drag so much.
I should
It was
bring her
one.
day.
It was probably one of her greatest memories. She came out and she's like, "Mike, listen, I'm gonna go in a room with my friend here. I have to tuck them." And for those who don't know, I'm sorry, kids. I know if you're watching, if you're young, but you're about to learn something interesting. So
Let me just lip.
Yeah.
Those lips to this.
so to get rid of the bulge, they got tuck it. Now, when this was explained to me, I was like, how does that not hurt? Ooh, what? And then they were like, "Then you just tape it and there you go."
Am I okay with
I was
sound over
like-
here if I just sit here?
Yeah, you're fine.
It is incredible to see this tucking.
It's insane.
Like there is tucking, there's gaffs, there's a thing
It
called
sounds
a
like
gaff.
it does hurt.
That
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
like a thumb, but it compresses more, and you have to tuck,
Hmm.
which is easier than tucking. But sometimes I'm like, girl,
How do you not? Excuse my ignorance.
Some-
How do you avoid like sitting on?
well, you don't sit on your nuts.
Well, if
You,
they're
you know,
tucked, I mean,
okay, let's get
Sometimes I do.
let's get. I did that the other day, and it was the most painful thing
Hell
in the
yeah.
fucking world.
it sucks.
And I
Girls
just,
are
like,
lucky. You don't
boom.
know. Like girls say that we're lucky because we can pee standing up, but they don't understand the pain of sitting on one of your own,
Nuts.
testes.
I mean, you know when you get cold,
Yeah.
your little
The turtle shell,
your little
pouch.
jewels go up
the coin purse.
and they get hidden. So that's basically what the girls do.
Oh, you put them in the garage.
And they put it in the garage, and then you tape it,
Oh.
and then you tape either depending on the size.
What about in the
of-
summer though?
you can just. I mean, I can right now push them up in that area, because it's naturally in there.
Does it take practice?
No, I mean,
I mean-
I've tried to tuck a few times just to.
Well, okay. Well, what about like hair? Like when you're walking, doesn't the tape just?
Most of them shave.
Oh yeah.
Or they work
assume.
around that.
I would assume, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is all that I'm learning, right?
Yeah.
And then, so
And depending on your junk size, either they tape it
okay. So
back
here's a question.
or
Here's a question: to be a drag queen, is it better to have a bigger or a smaller one? Because
I don't think it matters.
does it? I don't know.
I mean,
For,
you still
like,
have to do
ease
the
of-
same
ease
thing.
of use, or
I mean,
I can't stop moving because it's like I haven't tried.
I just
it.
get impressed when I see them naked,
Yeah.
tucked, and I can see like something else poking from the back. I'm like, girl,
Oh yeah, from the back view.
your dick is huge.
Peekaboo.
It's insane. I mean, the process of drag is so intense, and people just see them as just fun things and then, like clowns sometimes.
Yeah. No, well, see, those who say clowns,
But they're not clown. I mean,
it's the wrong word. I see them as
but not
artistic comedians.
But they're like, they think it's a show. Like it is a show,
Mm-hmm.
but they think that's their life. That's their career.
Right.
What I love about drag, what got me into drag is the illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Drag is like porn to me. Not, I shouldn't say porn.
Softcore.
It's
No,
more like
maybe car. I don't know.
I just forget about my problems. Like I literally, if you give me a good show,
Mm-hmm.
my day could be shit, and then if you can give me the illusion and a good show, it makes me feel like I forget about everything in the world.
Do you think it's the con?
Yeah, or you're watching a really good movie where you're like you get into that moment.
I think
like,
it's the confidence, man.
I've cried in shows.
Really?
Yeah, like give me a good song.
Yeah.
And you give me a good performance, you will move me in such a way. And I just sit there and I'm like, and people try to talk to me during shows, and I'm like,
Away from me.
and then they tell me I have a resting bitch face, and I'm like, or I'm mean. I'm like, I just want to fucking see the show.
Right. I didn't
know?
pay to come talk to your ass. I came to watch them.
Yeah, you
Well, and I think it's the confidence, because with the wit and with it comes with confidence, right? Because they're just trying all kinds of new things, and they're out there. They're not worried about what they're saying when they're on stage, and they just.
It's an artist.
It's one of the. I think it's almost one of the last avenues where people can be, which is ironic to say because they're dressed like something else, but more real than other places where everybody's a little bit more guarded.
I guess.
Because like when I went to the drag show, they were saying some funny fucking shit, and they
And
did
the
not
one
give a
that we
fuck
met?
who was the one we met, and they did not care about who was in the audience. And that to me I think is the confidence attracts.
Yeah, I mean they're entertainers, but I mean,
They're amazing entertainers.
and give me a good queen. I get lost, and that when I shoot them, I want to feel that again. Give me that. Whatever you get, like let me just live that moment, I guess.
And do you like one of the cool things
Like
that I like is there's almost like those subgenres, right?
Yeah.
I kind of see that. Like
Drag
there's
is,
like horror drag, and then more fantasy drag,
Campy drag.
campy drag.
There's drag kings, drag queens.
What's a drag queen? King.
It's a female illusion. It's a female giving you the illusion of a man.
Okay. Well, I did like the bearded guys and all that. Or
So like guys turn
in
into
suits and all that. Yeah.
give you the illusion of females. Well, it's the opposite.
Without I guess they had to tuck their boobs. That's
Yeah,
easy.
I've
Yes.
no offense to some of the drag kings, but there's very few that I've met that I'm like, girl, you're
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Oh,
I could hit on you,
the skills are getting better and better and better because I've been confused.
but it's all over.
Many
Like
times.
it's
many times.
you can find how to do drag on the YouTubes.
Oh yeah, everything's on YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
The tubes of you, But that's why I tell everybody, I was like, hey, if you really, really, really want to get into something, there is no excuse. Because back in the day, your excuse was, I don't have access to. I'm not gonna go to the library all the time. I'm not gonna.
I learned all my Photoshop
encyclopedias
skills on YouTube.
You have the internet. Go on YouTube. You got Google. You got no excuse. Do it. Learn it and do it.
Do it.
And then, so you had to evolve your photography, with each shoot, right?
Yeah.
So you're learning. It's almost like you're learning as you're going.
Yeah, I learned everything. I'm still learning. I mean, it's a constant.
Well, if you're a real photographer, you'll always be learning.
Yeah, I learned stuff, and I'm like, ooh, I found
Yeah.
a little button.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can do that.
this
What?
do?
Or like, ooh, you can do that on the program.
What was
And-
the one thing that you discovered that it just blew your mind, and you were like, okay, a whole new world has opened up?
In photography? Mm-hmm. Aperture.
The aperture, that 1.8.
Yeah, like just like you'll see one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've experienced that. Like when you shoot your your scene picture, like the city pictures.
Yeah.
You change the aperture and shutter speed.
Yeah.
And you see a whole fucking different world.
Yeah.
That you're like,
Yeah.
where did this light come from? It's like,
Do you know about ISO?
yeah,
Yeah, that's another big.
that
one.
is, let's hold hands. That is so hard.
ISO. Yeah. Jinx.
Shooting
Jinx.
at nighttime
Yeah.
is the hardest thing to do.
Tripod or bring like a little.
But like at the
flash?
concert, you were shooting and your pictures were like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, and I'm taking like 20 pictures and he takes like 2. And it's hard.
It's hard. Well, in my last guest, I was
What
talking
the
to
hell
her.
is ISO again?
So ISO is. Thank you, Laszlo.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's learn.
So
I'm not sure I
Where's
understand
the
aperture
more you
correctly
know?
either.
The
So.
more you know. So ISO is a leftover from the film days, right? Because ISO was the type of film or the sensitivity of light for your film. So if you were going to shoot at daytime, you go into the camera shop and say, I want ISO 400 film, right?
Right.
If you go and get
Right.
ISO 1600, the higher the number, the more sensitive
Those were
the
expensive
film were.
rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, 15 shots, 15, 25 shots.
I think you can get 800 back in the day with regular and that was expensive, a roll for 24.
Yeah, and it's and there was no screen, there was no adjustment done. You wouldn't know until your film is developed if you fucked up.
And here you can.
And here you just doop doop doop. But so ISO is the sensitivity of light to now in digital terms the sensor, right? Google
Can't
it.
see me, but I'm nodding.
Cool. Google me. I maybe I'm crude terms, but I go by feel most of the time.
Yeah.
But the higher the ISO, the more artifacts in your image. So that noise, that grain and all that. So that's where it gets a little hard. Where you're like, what the hell is all this nasty shit on my photo?
It's like sandpaper.
Yeah.
A picture with sandpaper.
You've
like-
seen it. Yeah. You've seen it. And then
Okay, if you can put a comparison on an iPhone, try to take a picture at low light on your iPhone, a selfie, and it's all granulated. That's the noise.
that's the noise. So in film days, you would know exactly, like the film would handle the grain, a lot better. The digital, they kind of had to catch up, and now with the newer tech, there's better sensors, so it handles ISO.
It's amazing
better.
what we work. What do you work with?
I usually shoot with Nikon.
Which Nikon?
I have the 800, and I love it. But you know what the pain
I
in
just
the
got
ass
a
is?
fucking boner.
The pain in
like,
the ass is the
My
files.
prostate is like,
Oh, I don't.
basically you can just fix.
And you already got this lubrication.
Girl, I want to get a.
deal.
I want to get the new one,
The
the 850. And let's just clarify one thing about our world. It's fucking tough.
It's very hard.
People think it was like, oh, take a picture, and they don't want to pay you. And we're like, I'm providing a quality service.
Right.
Our cameras. I have a D610.
Mm-hmm.
Our cameras are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
We spend thousands of dollars just on a camera.
$2,000, $3,000, not including
Lenses and the lens.
flash. Next thing you know, you have the equivalent of a small car in a case.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, we're checking the
Don't
angles.
mind me. No, don't.
I just get frustrated when people ask me for pictures or for business, and they're like, "Oh, this is my budget, $150," or like for a whole day, like hours. I'm like, that's like one picture for me.
Yeah. No, it gets crazy trying to
And they don't
navigate
understand-
those waters and how to deal with somebody.
You have to explain to them like, this is the I hate when they say, it's like, well, my friend has a camera, they can take it. Then I'm like, okay,
Sure. Go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. And guess what? Most of the time, they always come back. Can you fix my friend's photos? I'm
Can we
like,
redo that? And I'm like, well,
it's going to cost you a lot more. But I actually,
and I've learned not to be like, I would get upset about losing business because of it, but I'd rather not spend that time or energy.
if they're picky on the price, imagine how they're going to be on the shoot. Because most of the time, when they lowball you, and this is just from my experience, it could be different from everybody else's, but usually, so you're feeling generous or you're feeling some sort of way. They got you on a good day, and you know what? I like you. Sure, I'll help you for that low price. Then you get on set, and they want everything.
Oh.
And it's like, whoa.
Or they're picky
They're
about the
picky.
smallest thing, and they're like, bitch.
You're acting like this is a $5,000 gig, and you pay me $100. No. It's going to go the way I want. I'm going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. I'm done.
Ooh, let me tell you about this one queen.
Mm-hmm.
I did a photo shoot, and the person just came in knowing that they were going to photograph with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you bring the best.
Right.
And the person came like, unprepared. Give me every excuse. I edited the picture, and I had to do some work on the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a message saying, oh, well, I don't want you to post any of those pictures on your social media because it's going to affect my branding. And
Oh, wow. How so? What was the reason?
that I didn't Photoshop her and edit it well.
Oh, to a high standard?
Yeah. And it was like, well, I was told that you would, I didn't have to worry because you would do everything. I'm like, I'm not a macro worker. I will fix.
Can't fix ugly.
I wouldn't say the person's beautiful. I wouldn't say it.
Well, on the inside.
And
On the inside.
it's just
Like
like,
how
if
I
you
say
get,
that?
I cannot Photoshop makeup. I know there's tricks to it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, I'm very
and I already
big
spent
on
like
the,
an hour or
in-camera
two
mode.
on this person on
Yeah.
those 1 or 2 pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like, delete from Facebook. It was very disrespectful.
It can be. And then I think
The person re-edited the picture. Posted it.
that's a no-no. Don't do that to a photographer unless you ask.
And not even tagged me. And the
Oh.
person just looks like
Those people don't last long. They don't.
the person has a force. I mean, the person is
For now.
I don't know.
now.
You'd be surprised with some of the queens, and they're a young queen, and I'm like, oh girl. It's just like I have harder times with newbies or than professional ones. Like I'll take like Bianca Del Rio, almost all the top queens from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to work with. Or there's also amazing queens outside of Drag Race that have been working for years, and they are established in their community, and they travel around the world,
Right.
and they don't need Drag Race, and they're the easiest people to work with.
You think it's a generational thing because they have
No,
been...
I've worked with younger queens that have made it, and they're like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the confidence part, or
Probably
they
confidence
know
or the experience
the experience,
and having
or-
to deal
or
with
be appreciative
professionals.
and be appreciative because it takes a team.
Because I think
To do a lot of
it's
things.
almost like everybody thinks they know everything, especially when it comes to photography, just because their
Yeah.
Instagram feed and how they can do filters. So they're like, oh, it takes a click of a button, I can do it. You can't do what I want, man. So it's a weird thing where as technology gets easier, people tend to feel
like they're
they know
gurus.
better and they know what your job entails when they have no idea. Especially when you're working at the caliber like something that you're working on, when you have to bring in
He does caliber
lighting.
work too, girl. Check his
I-
workout.
I do what I can. But they don't understand. They understand how to take a good picture. They don't understand the word that goes into a good picture.
Yeah, it takes
So
hours.
they,
One picture can-
so they know what they want, but they don't know what it
How to
takes to
get
get
it,
there,
yeah.
right? It's like, for example, if they want campaign catalog type shots and they go out into an open field and, a little
get a
Instagram
regular
shot and
picture.
they're like, this doesn't look like the magazine. How did
I
they
know.
do that? How did they freeze the action and blur out the background at the same time? Well, that's called high speed sync. Your phone don't do that. So
I need
that's
to learn
experience.
That's a hard thing to do too.
It's very hard. And then knowing
When it happens, I'm like,
when you find a little new gem.
I don't even know. Like sometimes I only have like 20 minutes or 30 minutes to work with a queen, and I'm like taking certain pictures, and then all of a sudden I change. I'm also manual,
Right.
and then all of a
That's
sudden
gotta be
like
manual. You have to always be manual.
Manual.
all the way.
And then raw.
raw.
Always take it
Always raw.
Take it all the way
All the
in raw.
pros love it raw.
I love it raw.
Yep. T-shirt right there.
Camera
I love it
only.
raw. Dot R-A-W.
Only on camera. And I get excited when it's like blurred in the back.
Right.
It's like, how did I do that? And I still look like at our settings. I'm like, why did I do that? How did I do that? And then I can't imitate it again. I'm like,
Happy accidents. Happy accidents. But the experience that you have to accumulate to even get to that point, somebody who's just constantly taking pictures on their phone, they can't even grasp the notion.
it's mind blowing.
When I tell somebody, or for example,
I mean, even you can see it in the quality when you're in the camera.
yeah,
And you're just looking at that screen, and I'll just take one picture.
yeah,
And they're like, holy fuck, that's what I look like? I'm like, that's what you look like in a $5,000 camera.
yeah. But not just that. Like, this is what I like to do. Whenever I have a client that's acting kind of, foo-foo with their shit, and they think they know more than I do, and it's like, okay, cool. Hey, talk to me. All right, cool. I'm taking all your feedback. I got you. I know.
You're
okay,
processing all that stuff.
Processing it, and then, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, and then I listen to them, and then when they're done, I tell them, hey, you got me because you trust me, right? You like my work, so just trust me and let me do my work, and then if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, it should free your mind to be who you are. So don't worry about the camera. Trust me. I'm gonna take a couple photos. I'm gonna show you.
I got it.
And then I take a couple photos, and they're kind of like, still a little guarded or whatnot. I take them, and then I walk over with a big smile, and I'm like, little Bruce Lee, what do you think of this? And they look at it. Okay, I'll shut up now. Do what you gotta do.
It happens to me almost every shoot.
And so you have to almost. That's the sucky part, is you almost have to prove yourself in the first 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah, but you're like, you see my work.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's how it is. That's the way
there's
the world
a queen
is
that
today.
I work with, and I'm very vocal when I shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either I'm quiet, but then I'll be like, fuck you, fuck me, yes. Like I'll talk. I mean, I'm not doing it sexual. I'm like,
right.
Fuck me, this is good, because I know. I see the picture, and I'm already thinking how it's going to look in Photoshop and what I'm going to do.
That's good, though, because your confidence and your excitement in your work will excite them.
Yeah, but one, if I'm quiet, I work with one specifically, and they're like, you're not saying anything. I'm breaking their confidence down. And I'm like, I'm just doing my thing. You're good.
Well, it's
but you're not saying fuck me. I'm like...
You usually say it with all the other girls, but you're not asking me. Where's my fuck me?
Yeah.
But it's true though, because you're feeding their energy, right, with your energy.
Yeah.
And usually, if I'm trying to get a certain emotion or a certain shot, I kind of direct a little bit. Not too much where it's faking it, but I try to feed them with my energy, and most of the time I get a little overboard. Even when I'm shooting a wedding. I'll be outside, and then all the bridesmaids.
Do you Photoshop their faces?
Not really, man. Like, this is me, right? I'll take a photo, and I'll let them like, fuck, I love this. This is going over your fireplace. And I'll run over, and I show them that it sure fuck is.
Yeah.
So, I love doing what I do, and I'm in love with my own work. Some people say, hey, don't be conceited. I was like, listen, shut the fuck up. Because if I love my work, everybody else is going to love my work. Because if I hate what I do... then nobody's gonna like it, right?
Let me show a picture. There's a I love my work too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I surprise myself on like, I did that.
Yeah, me too. You should.
I'm like, that happened. That just happened.
Anybody high five? Anybody high five? Boom.
I work from my house, and you work from your house. And
Yeah.
I'm at my house like, photoshopping, doing like this, and I'm like, and then I'm done. I'm like, and I put it on the big screen. I'm like.
I'm sorry. Hey, if you love your shots, you deserve to be cocky.
I was like, I just want to show it to the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. There's the shot that I showed you before.
Yes.
From RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9 winner Sasha Velour.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And please, I would recommend pull up his feed as a
Just
companion,
Toby Me
as a companion to the episode, and just check out his
it's
work at
Just Toby Me. Just to be me.
And that's why I wanted to get you on here, because I can see your passion in your work, right? Because we've hung out a couple times, but I feel like I get you in your work, and I get that you love.
I photographed
color.
you. It's there.
Yeah, it's all there, and then the love that you put into it, I think, is what attracts everybody else. Remember that confidence thing? Just
Yeah.
like how the queens are confident when they're doing their thing, you're confident behind the camera, so their confidence feeds you, and yours feeds them, and then
I mean,
like
you
a
almost
little-
control, like, they're your models, and you're like, do this.
Yeah.
And they'll do it
yeah.
to get that shot for them to go forward in their career. Like,
But not just that, the power that a photographer holds is kind of scary. As
you
image
look
creators,
really good or really bad.
you can make or break somebody. You can make people do practically anything that you need them to do to get the shot.
Yeah.
So imagine
And people make
being a
thousands of
photographer. Yeah.
People make thousands of dollars to break someone. Like
Look,
those.
I'll put this in perspective for you. The president is the most powerful person in the world, right? The president of the U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is giving themselves to the photographer who does their photos, right? So you have the photographer directing powerful people, and they just willingly do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the power that you hold as a photographer. Not just that, but I always like to tell people that we're kind of time travelers. We're the keepers of time, right? Because we take the photos, we freeze a frame in time. That lives on.
Photo anthropologist.
Yeah.
Almost like
And, yeah.
we keep history. I have a friend who's amazing. I won Best Photographer of Atlanta by the Georgia Voice, and I was next
You
to
did?
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah.
And there's another photographer. I'm not gonna say the name because I always because I'm ESL. I break it down.
ESL stands
what's
for
ESL?
ESL. I felt it.
English as a second language.
Yes, English is not the first language, so we might get stuck on a few words.
She's amazing.
Mhm.
The person's amazing, and she catalogs a lot of events around town, and I'm just in awe.
Yeah,
Like the person will just go to events and capture raw emotions,
that's the best.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
Well, that's why I was telling you this before we started the show. That's why I like shooting weddings, because you get a taste of a little
so
bit of
intimidated
everything.
by weddings.
It can be, but once
I've done gay
once you get
weddings.
your flow, I'm
small,
almost about to get my first gay wedding.
Maybe you should take me and teach me, because
You could be my second shooter.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is
fun.
intimidating because
It'd be awesome.
it's an amazing, it's the day of your life,
Yeah,
and the whole day I'm like, literally,
it's your responsibility to tell their story of
Yeah.
that day, and it can be nerve wracking. But just
It's
with
nerve-wracking.
with how I was telling you, the responsibility and power of the photographer and how they can control stuff. A lot of
like,
times,
you can see the shit face on my face right now. Like,
like most of the
like,
time,
it scares
it's
me.
the photographer who's guiding the wedding.
Yeah.
Because the photographer has the most experience there, along with like the wedding planner. But this is just my experience. Don't get mad at me, Atlanta. But a lot of wedding planners tend not to do shit on the day of the wedding. Okay, because the
Top
couple
up.
is always, where's my wedding planner? We were supposed to do this. I never got this. I don't know where to go. So then that's where the photographer usually steps in. It's like, hey, by this time you want to do this, or hey,
Yeah.
we got 15 minutes. We got plenty of time to do your photos. So I'm there backing up the bride and groom
Yeah.
because that's our job.
That was at one of the last ones I did. The family is just all chaotic and blah blah blah,
You gotta corral them all in.
and I'm like, I just went. I get into a mood and I get all like dominant.
You have to though, but that's
Dominant.
the command that you have
Yeah.
to take.
I was like, well, you want to drink? Let's do this now.
Yep.
Like, let's get together. Okay, watch here.
Yep.
The longer you take, the longer
Yep.
and people don't like to pose. I mean, they do. but,
Yeah,
like,
and that's and like with my work, how much I tend to not pose too much because to me, posing is
it's
a representation of who I think they are, and that is never the case, right? You are who you are. You know who you
Yeah,
are.
and if it's
So-
a group, they're all like posing and trying to find their best angle. You know what I say to most of them? Like, do you know each other? Okay, but like, let's just pretend a little bit more that you know each other.
Yeah, my go-to, like they'll do the standard,
You show your
all
penis?
stand shoulder to shoulder and pose. No, I tell them, okay, cool, we got that shot now. Give me a group hug. Like what? Yeah, we're like 6 people, and you guys love each other, right?
Yeah.
Group hug.
And
they
there's
all
that
get
family
group
picture.
hug. Yep, and they're all laughing about, you're hugging me and stuff. And then I take that photo, and then that's the photo that always gets framed. So I tend to usually get what they think they want, and then I do what I want. So now they have both the best worlds, and they tend to always gear towards what I give them.
I've sat down like really far away and used the big
zoom lens.
And just sit there because that way
do you like the push-pull lens? Is that usually the zoom lens that you like, or do you like the twist zoom lens?
No, the 300
Yeah.
371. It's like this big, but it goes like it spans to like this big, but it goes like this.
Gotcha.
It's like a erection.
Gotcha. Like you're in control of how big you want.
Yeah. So I'll just sit in a corner.
Sorry, you can't put us in a room like this and not expect to have a little fun. So
and it's sit there, and then nobody's knowing that you're taking the picture. So
it's real.
It's real. You capture them looking at the wedding or blah 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 or doing something.
Yep.
And you're just sitting there. You're not near them because
and then
people get paranoid with that camera.
Another amazing feeling to get.
It's when it's inside you.
Well, when the inspiration is burning deep inside.
That's right.
It's when a client does appreciate and fall in love with what you created, and if you can get an emotional response from them, like I love making. Sounds horrible. I love making brides cry.
Yeah.
But
I like to get a reaction.
Yeah.
If I send you a picture and I don't get a reaction within like 3 minutes, I'm like,
well, fuck you too.
I just fucking spent an hour in your fucking face.
Well, my go-to, like what I do, as soon as I send a photo, the next text is, hey, I would love some feedback because I'm a whore for feedback. Make me, I want to know. I want to know what you think. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
You should do that with queens, though.
Really? They'll give me way too much feedback?
Yeah. They think they know their camera, but...
Well, I would be very, very curious to shoot a drag queen, just because, like I said,
I'm shooting one this week. If you want to come,
most of the time I would always love to come.
I love to come too.
Always,
all the
just
time.
Tell me where, and I will
we'll
come there to that area, location.
Location. That's right.
Inviting me to. So, is there another? So now you're getting experience. You're doing all the amazing work with the drag queens. Has there been another aspect of photography that's got you kind of curious? Men intimidate me.
Yeah. I've done a few. I want to do men. I don't know how to.
Like chisel grizzly men, or
just I like hair. I like hair men. I do like muscles.
Yeah.
To photograph because shadows and muscles work great. I've done a few.
What intimidates you about it?
I don't know. It's really fun. I don't know how it works out because a very intimidating drag queen does not intimidate me.
Right.
I guess I know them. I can handle that.
Right.
But a man, I'm not the best looking guy.
Oh, hush your face.
But when they're there and they're just, I don't know what to do.
So like, are you like, by men, you mean like male models or like an everyday type of man or like some big old muscular, Drago from.
A real ugly dude.
Or like a real ugly dude or like.
I don't know. I just get intimidated because I'm like, oh. Yeah. I don't know about ugly dudes, but I've taken pictures. It's something I need to get used to.
Yeah. Like, what's an example of a man that you would like that would intimidate to shoot that for you to shoot?
There's. I have a sample somewhere. Well, I shot a friend, and he has a beautiful body.
Uh-huh.
And he was gonna move to New York, and I'm like, let's shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because before you leave, you're not gonna be back. And I was just like, oh my god, what do I do?
Right.
Because I know how to make you look good in drag, or even boy drag.
Is it the lack of color, or is there still like a lot of?
Maybe that is, or
that
just
might be it.
It's just a simple shot, and I'm like,
or is it the feeling that they don't have all that going on.
Or maybe it's
just
my own
like-
insecurity. I'm like, I don't look as good. I'm like, and then I ask them to like, could you take your clothes off?
Yeah.
And that's just like, I'm not getting. It's like going to the getting your physical. You get touched and all that stuff, and you have to pay for it
you
without
start
getting
giggling.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Is it the giggle factor? Like, like.
I mean, I don't get. I get really serious.
Yeah.
I'm very professional. People have tried to sleep with me on my
Yeah.
photo shoots.
Yeah.
Queens and guys and ladies.
From all angles.
All angles, and I'm like,
Time out.
I'm that's not gonna happen. But it gets really, I don't know what it is. Like if I shot you,
That's interesting though.
like I shot you, I shot my friend Patrick that night. I don't know what it is.
Or do you think it's? I don't know. Is it because
I'm not used to it.
you're shooting men dressed like women, and now having
But
to
how do you
shoot
tell them
just
to get the
men?
angle?
Like, is it okay? So for like a drag queen, even though they're men, they still have a feminine kind of look. So you kind of go for more, I don't know, more feminine-esque type shots. But with a man,
I want to capture masculinity.
Yeah,
I want to I don't even want to capture your face. I want to capture bodies
yeah,
and shadows,
yeah, black and white.
black and white, and maybe it's that I can't see when I take the picture of a guy the final product.
Maybe just practice. You need to get some more guys in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my friends is just starting photography, and I'm jealous because he gets the hottest fucking men, and he makes them look fucking good. And I
Yeah.
see these people constantly. I'm like, you made this person look so good.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe he just needs inspiration from some
but in
source
person,
material. You know?
person, they might not look like that. But I'm like, what?
That's you.
That's like that's
Yeah.
amazing. And there's another photographer. His name is Lee Sue, and he takes these shots of men and makes them look so butch.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know how to describe it. And there's another one called Blake Little.
Blake Little.
Yeah, and he's based in LA, and he takes a regular guy and makes him look like gods.
Nice. Nice.
Like just doing their work, or just like in a field. It's like you guys should check this out because
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I do that? How do I do that?
I'll
But
tell
then,
you. Lighting. That's all it is.
but it's in the field. I mean, and it's all the, and I'm like,
Trust me. There's a certain way. Okay, so like, I've shot.
well, you tell me because I will show you my stuff.
Yeah.
And this is also an issue with I think within our group, photographers. Some photographers don't want to tell their secrets, or they don't want to do stuff, or they don't want to share. I'm like, I'm all about sharing.
You kind of have to, because the way I see it is, photography is.
And we will never do this. I mean, I will never do your job. I will never have your eye. Like I could imitate it,
Right.
but I'm not gonna.
But I
do
get that though, because I had to grow out of that, and I used to be very guarded in the beginning of the career, right?
Yeah.
Because I had some issues with that whole people trying to imitate you and blah blah blah, and instead of feeling flattered about it and trying to work with that person, I would be very like, well, fuck them, who are you? Why are you trying to copy? Blah blah blah, and that doesn't lead to anything good. I had to learn to realize that there are so many people, right?
Yeah.
And there are so many photographers, and it's getting easier and easier. You should embrace people doing what you're doing, because to me it proves that I'm doing something right. If nobody's trying to do what I'm doing, then I'm doing something wrong. But if I have people who like what I do and they want to try it and apply it to their world, then fuck yeah. And once I realize that, not only do I'm like fuck yeah, how can I help you? Right? Because
Yeah. Like I forgot to mention this, that when I first started, I did that one shoot, and then I did another shoot, and then the same drag queen said, "Hey, there's a photographer, well known, his Jose Guzman Colon. He's like my drag dad." He came from San Francisco. He's based in San Francisco. Well, I forgot if he moved. Anyway, let me get into tangents. But he I went to one of his photo shoots here, and he saw my work, and he started giving me tips, like,
Good.
you know, like, oh, you should do this. You know, working with queens, it's like this, and then, which is wonderful. And we were photographing Latrice Royale.
I know that
She's
name. I know.
huge.
Yeah.
Like, she's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She is a powerful person.
Big personality.
Big personality. All work. It's so professional. Funny as shit. I have great times with her and her husband. And then I went on a trip to San Francisco, and I spent a whole day with him. And he invited one of the queens to shoot, and he taught me a lot. He gave me a lot of tips and stuff like that. And that's one of the few photographers that like really helped me how to, because drag is hard to photograph, Photoshop, and it's a niche.
Yeah. A niche.
And I niche, and I like it. I ask questions like, I mean, I want to know what you do.
Right.
I asked Lisu stuff. I've asked any photographer, like, and some are like, oh, that's easy, blah blah blah. I'm like, that's
it's easy because
answer.
you've done it so many times.
Yeah, but what do you do? Like, oh, I use this. And there's another. I wanted to learn how to do ISO in the dark because I do a lot of nighttime pictures at the Heretic. You know,
Which is located where?
Cheshire Bridge.
There you go.
And then I shoot at Woofs, which is located in Piedmont. And it's hard. He told me like, oh, just do this setting, and make it sure it should be like 4.5.
Right.
But other photographers,
They don't. They're
they don't want to tell you anything.
Nope.
But then they will ask you questions, and I'm that kind of guy. Kill them with kindness.
It's kind of like when you show up in another, when you're on set or on location or whatever, and another photographer shows up, and they come in with $50,000, worth of equipment, don't know how to use it, can't shoot for shit, right? Or and then you have somebody, a little decent, nothing crazy camera, amazing work, right? That's that same mentality, like, oh, I know all the power, or I know all the tricks. I have all the gear, I know
Girl,
how I do
I'm
this.
still
So,
thinking-
haha, you are not on my level, so you stay down there while I am basking in the glory. And then that shitty kind of, attitude, well, they're going to stay right where they are while, the person who's more humble and more positive, they're just going, well, it took me a little longer to get past you, but I
can be a little
you.
cocky about my stuff. But when I meet another photographer and I get that attitude, I'm like, I do this, and they won't even talk to me.
Yeah. Well, the Arts of the Affair. Remember Arts of the Affair?
Yeah.
I ran into you there, and you were part of the art installation in the show and all that. And I was asking you questions about what you were doing, and y'all had some crazy rig, right? With
that was hard because it was Patrick Hansen, which is a great artist. Amazing art. He works with epoxy and does art installations.
Yeah.
But the whole night was just changing lights, like the IS. That night I was like,
right,
trying to get that.
So it's always great to be open to everybody, because if you weren't open with me, approaching you and talking to you during an art show where you were showing, which. Funny enough, they put your work right next to my work, and I was like, instantly I was like, hey, that's Toby. I wonder where's Toby.
I did that one picture, Bianca Del Rio.
And we got to talking, but if you were a dick, if you were just like, well, fuck that guy, this interaction that we're having now would have never happened.
Right.
It's you never know who are the people that are going to come into your life.
I connect some. There's only like a handful of people that shoot Drag Race girls, like constantly all the time, like that we have a relationship with them. And some of them don't have access to certain people, so some of them will reach out to me, and I'll be like, hey, I'll reach out to them,
right,
so they can make some artwork,
right,
because I gag over some of the work of some people around the country, and they need, I need such and such person. Can you get a hold of them? I'm like, yeah, 1 second. I won't give them their contact, but I'll email their.
You'll just be the in-betweener.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm hoping to get that in return. The people have not done that in return to me.
It takes time. You're just planting seeds.
I'm like, don't ask me again.
That's-
I won't say. I'm like, well, last time I asked you for a question, for help, you responded days later when it said red.
When it was,
your-
they're plotting their word for word response.
Yeah.
Or
And
just
I-
taking their time.
And I do have what is the word? I have accessibility to certain people, and it's hard to sometimes there's oh, here's their number, but I can't give them the number.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a lot of responsibility on your part.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of
That's privacy too.
Yeah.
Because I work with a lot
You
of
have the power.
public people. I find out information about stuff from
Yeah.
next season or what's going on, or there's a problem. I don't say anything.
Well, you can't, because they'll have an angry mob coming after you with torches and shit.
Yeah,
like
I have so
spoiling.
many. I have
People are
so many secrets.
Crazy with spoilers, and I totally get it, because when somebody spoils something for me, it's just.
I have secrets, and I'm like,
Well, let me ask you something.
there's another question.
Yeah, because
That's
we
good.
kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't know if you know what's been happening with this whole Monique Netflix thing. I don't know. Do you know what's going on with that? Have you heard about this? So,
Educate me.
so Monique was going to have a special on Netflix, but Netflix only offered her like $500K. And she says that's low ball. She should get paid like the other comedians, which are like millions and blah, blah, blah. But that's part of the story. The part of the story that intrigued me was, so that was their monetary offer, but in the contract, it was everything in that stand-up special is 100% owned by Netflix. Everything that you say in that special for 12 months, you can't repeat anywhere else. So if you had a joke in that special, Netflix owns that joke, right? And then for 2 years, you if you try to get another gig, Netflix has to have first say and first pass, right? And what I wanted to ask you is, what do you think about having to juggle between ownership of your art, and then and
the
what
hardest
do you
thing.
sacrifice
It's so hard,
to get access to a big, company like a Netflix? So, what do you think about that? How valuable is ownership of your work?
it is frustrating
It's
because
very frustrating.
I'm still learning how to make contracts,
Yeah.
and I work with a lot of famous folks, and there was one thing that happened, and the pictures were everywhere. I didn't get anything, but they're using it all over.
And that's the scary part the scary part is how easy.
Because the laws change for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because once it becomes a known person, a brand, you're shit out of luck unless you made a contract.
Yeah.
Or a release form.
Yeah.
Do you have release forms?
I do now, because
You need
I
to
ran
help
into
me.
the same.
And
I
then
ran into the same
I have
issues.
some people talk to me. I mean, I want to photograph them, and I give them a release form. They're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to give you the release
Yeah.
that you. I mean, they can make money, but I want to. They're my picture too.
Right.
So I'm like,
But it's.
I work with a magazine. They still haven't paid me.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, okay, so that's the experience that I've had with things like that is you almost have to constantly ask yourself how much I'm willing to lose for this particular exposure to this world, or am I gonna, stick to my guns and be like, no, this is all mine. I want 100% copyright and all that. And do you feel bad if they walk away? Like when they say no, thank you, and you're like, so let's say there's something that you
disappointing.
really want to shoot, but what's holding you back is that stupid shit that has to do with money and ownership of rights. And does it bug you that you lose the opportunity to work with something or somebody that you really
Or it
wanted
bugs
to?
me
because of
after
that?
like they ask and you do it as a nice person,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're selling your shit.
Yeah.
Like I've had drag queens, famous drag queens,
Mm-hmm.
ask me for the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and then 3 hours later, it's already on a website
Or like
being
when
sold,
you
and I'm like,
No, it sucks. And then, so like, how do you feel when you give the images to your client or your subject, right? Whoever it was, and they give it to the other third parties, and they're plastering everywhere, and it was never even consulted with you, right?
It's heartbreaking.
It's very. I mean, I've gotten magazine covers, and I'm just like, oh, where's my credit? Where's my
Where's the
love? Where's the
paycheck?
love for the photographer?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking
Yeah.
to see it happen, and or even a person takes the logo out, or
It's so easy now. Oh, they just crop it.
they crop it, and it's so easy to Photoshop on your phone too.
Yeah. Do you think there's a solution, or is it just one of those things that once it's on the internet,
It's on the internet.
It's gone. It's absolutely
One
gone.
time I had a picture, and the person was just doing all these things, and they claimed that it was my picture, their picture. And I said, "That's my picture."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
And
the
I'm
proof
like,
of burden is on you.
and I send the picture of me taking the picture with the model. And I'm like, "Do you want me to send you like the screenshot of the?"
Right.
This was one of the Rue winners from RuPaul's Drag Race, and the person just for a day fought with me, and I'm like, "Girl,
Trust me, I would not be surprised if there are 6 people out there using your work right now, passing it as theirs.
Oh, I do. You know what I do? I go to Instagram and I look at people I've shot, and I look at the tags, and I'm like, well, thanks for the credit. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be that fucking bitch.
Yeah. I've
Because I'm
had
like, I
somebody
work so hard.
almost recreate my website from another country with my work.
Ugh.
And they go by Foto-Mike. And when I found that out, I was like, you son of a bitch. I haven't seen any movement on that for a couple of years, but when I found out, I was like, what do you do? What the fuck do I do? There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
But then the joke is always when I'm like, all right, cool. If that's how you can shoot, do another photo shoot. Show me.
Yeah. Show me how.
Let me show my skills at work for you. Recreate what I've done. You can't. They just can't. But it's. Does it deter you from wanting to do big?
More? Yeah.
More.
It just hurts me. Like we were just talking about this outside of this.
Mhm.
There's a lot of struggles with what we do,
Yeah.
and if you're not really big, it's a struggle, and people don't understand that. And we're working all the time,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing a screen all day long.
Yeah. I wear a wrist brace sometimes from editing so much.
Me too. Because you don't want to get that carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
I've learned how.
Yeah.
Before
Well, not because you're holding a mouse,
No,
because
it's
of
just
other, nocturnal activities and,
oh, girl.
Quote unquote from editing.
Yep.
From you
From
edit.
editing, from scrubbing, the timeline.
Rubbing.
Rubbing, scrubbing.
I used to do like this a lot, and then just put my wrist and do like this,
Mm-hmm.
and it was awkward, and
Yeah.
I was starting to feel numb,
Yeah.
and
No, it happens.
And my brother was like,
and then
"How are you doing?"
have the
So I-
heavy camera all the time too. You
look,
know?
I have I'm one of my bones.
That's how you know a photographer when they got
There is this bone gets all irritated. It's growing. My brother's like, in a couple of years we'll have to like
file it down.
file it down. He's a doctor, and he's like,
Yeah.
because you're getting.
I just got that permanent little bump. That's when like with the where you're. See.
The next
You
day,
hold the
like,
camera.
and after a long day of shooting, my shoulder is hurting because I have the camera on the side.
What about you? Haven't tried the holsters?
Oh no,
Those
you
holsters
have
are
one?
fun. I haven't. My buddy's got one, and I tried it out. It's like, oh shit! I gotta give me one.
What from the last premiere? My friend gave me a holder.
Mm-hmm.
that the flash stays there.
Oh, the bracket.
the
so
bracket and-
for those that don't know, it's a camera that goes on a bracket where you can move the camera in any direction, but the flash
Stays there.
Stays there.
Because when you
It's
put
a
the
bracket.
So, so think of that's what we got this for.
Yeah.
Camera. Lazo, can you see this?
No,
Lazo, can you see this?
you wrote it further away.
Ah, shit.
can you see it
Whatever. Camera.
here? It's just it's
Right,
And then it's a
in
big-
front of you.
it's like a box, and you
Like
put the camera
this.
here.
Camera's here, and then the flash is up there.
Write it like right in front of you, and I can see it.
Here,
Like right by the edge. Yeah, right there works
The
too.
edge.
Yeah.
right? Camera, and it's on the thing, and then the bracket is this.
And you
With
can
the
move
flash.
the camera sideways or
and then this can kind of move like that. So, if you're wondering how to get flash on vertical shots, you need one of these guys.
Yes, because then you get the side shots. And
Yeah.
Thank
Or
God.
off camera, you can hold it with a signal and all that. Which, if you haven't tried, it's a lot of fun. Technique is having an assistant
Like,
with a
yes.
boom pole with a flash, and then just direct them like where you want the light, and they're just walking around with a giant light stick.
You know, if I have a trick for I use a lot of what's that called?
Constant light,
No,
flashes, strobes.
Strobe light.
Yeah.
So I have a 700, Nikon 700.
The SB 700
Yeah.
flash. Yeah.
So what if you do that, it's kind of harsh, like
Yeah.
on the road. Like if I'm gonna do a portrait of you, wherever. So instead, I take one of my umbrellas, put it this way, point the flash that way,
Into the umbrella. Yeah.
and make it like your own little mini strobe light.
Yeah.
So the light will move around and changes the whole.
Yeah. And I recently went on a shoot where
Does that
I
make
shot.
sense?
Yeah, no, it makes
Okay.
perfect sense. But
I hope it makes sense for you. guys.
the fun part is manipulating light, right? That's to me
Yeah.
is the funnest part of photography is recognizing light almost as a physical thing, right? Because you can start seeing it for
It
what it
changes
is.
everything.
And then learning how to control it to your needs, right? So I was shooting a friend of mine. Her name is Brianna Lamb. We did a stylish Bride of Frankenstein shoot, and we shot at this studio where this guy does carving. He does all these crazy wood carvings, gorgeous work, and he had this huge 7-8 foot tall frame with a piece of wax paper through it. And I was like, can I borrow that? And I took my flash and I boomed it a little bit and I just put this huge thing of wax paper
In front of
and
them.
it diffused the light so beautifully. And it gave it that old school Bride of Frankenstein from like the 60s
Huh.
look. It's very soft. So, tip, always look around you
The
for
artifacts.
things that you can put in front, on, around your light source, and see how it changes. You know, even just putting
Yeah, even
some blinds in front of a flash.
I had a friend that did. He couldn't afford one of those foil reflectors, so he got foil paper
Yeah, it's simple as that.
and I put it on the side of the wall so he can get the flash to bounce back.
It's the
Yeah.
same stuff, really, essentially,
It's-
right?
Yeah,
same thing. It's
but
the same
once
thing.
one breaks easily and the other one just lasts longer.
Yeah.
Like the foil
and they got like they're sturdy. That's what.
yeah,
it
and then
is.
you can fold them.
Yeah.
Foil paper, you're just like
Teaching people how to fold a reflector is the funniest fucking thing. You know,
it's like a manual. It's like masturbating. You know exactly how to do it.
Once you
you get
know
a hold
it,
of-
it's just like
No, a
it's
bicycle.
tucking. What are you talking about? It's tucking because you take it, and you tuck it inward. And
I
then
was
there
going to
you
say
go.
fitted sheet.
So
Or we could,
you know,
or we
these
could have just gone
huge.
like a bicycle.
So
Once
it's like
you learn it.
it's a huge circle that's like by size. That's how big it is, and you have to fold that inward. And people don't know how to do it. And it's collapsible and it's
It
a
is-
spring, and it'll spring back up and smack people in the face. It's the funniest.
I want to
thing.
get the box.
those boxes.
No, it's instead of a circle, it's a box.
Yeah, the little light box, the light panel, lasso.
Is it?
There's ones called lasso lights that are pretty cool. They have a tri grip, so you can basically just hold a diffuser anywhere you want, and it's a triangle, and you just grab it. It's got a grip, so you just like, oh sweet,
Huh.
sunlight, clack, 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 clack.
Do you have one?
I'm getting one. I'm gonna get one.
Do you have a studio?
I used to, but
Maybe you should,
this is okay. So
I have a studio now.
how do you like it?
I haven't even set it up.
It's
But maybe we can work together there one day, or
hey, what?
monetize
I'll
out
show
of
you.
that.
I'll show you. But I found for what I do, I found that I didn't use the studio as much. I love shooting outdoors. I like shooting locations.
Well, I can't really do that with drag.
You can try it. You never
I mean,
know.
I've done it, but that's not, the temperature has to be like the right. I mean, it's a lot of
That is
makeup,
true. That is true.
and it's men in makeup,
That is true.
and they have glue stuff, and there's temperature change. Your sweat, they start pulling out, and it's like,
Right.
and modeling is hard.
It is hard. It's very hard. It's
Because
hard
I'm like-
for
I make people do things, and they're like, Like I make them do awkward poses or like
What is it? Your stomach hurts.
avant-garde. Yeah.
You have pain, cramps. There you go. Posing. Pain is posing. Just find some sort of
And they start
pain
sweating. I mean,
motion, and then beautiful photo.
there's like, this is awkward. Are you sure? I'm like, just trust me. And it's like, it looks.
It's that thing going back to building trust. So let me ask you this. I'm curious. So you've been traveling. I've been seeing you travel and all that. Has that been a new perk because of, being a photographer now in the drag queen world and being, traveling to different locations to do different shoots? Has that been like an exciting part of
That's fucking exciting.
how much you like it? Like, where have you been? Have you been just around the U.S. or have they flown you out?
I went to Detroit. I went to,
Ooh, mood lighting.
Hey, a little moody. A little moody.
I went to New York. I've gone to San Francisco, New York, Miami, Orlando.
This is all for drag.
No, regular shoots too.
Regular shoots?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we wherever you live, you get like the monotony, the routine, and you see the same people. You have kind of like the same objects or your target market, and then you leave, and then you get re-inspired because you have subjects or material you're not doing.
The fire inside you gets reignited.
Oh, girl. Yeah, this last trip in New York was exhilarating. I went, this premiere was way different than the other ones because it was just the girls from RuPaul's Drag Race season All Stars 3 and media. And it was just a party for us. That's it.
Nice.
And, it was nice, and you had them, whatever, each person, like Entertainment Weekly, was like, this is your time. Once you're done, they move to the next one.
Right.
So it was really chill instead of like fighting for their time.
Right.
But then I started going to museums and seeing
You went to a
artwork.
museum? Which museum did you go to?
I went to the MoMA. They had a good. You haven't been there?
I didn't go to that one.
They had an exhibit about clothing and how was it? I forgot the name of the exhibit, but it was about how clothing has changed history.
And it has. It's changed with history too.
Yeah. So they were showing like simple, like when you entered, it was the little black dress and all the versions of the little black dress.
As time advanced, did the clothes get smaller and smaller and smaller?
No, they're just like different aspect of even through culture. And then they had the little bottle of Chanel No. 5.
Oh,
like
nice.
anything and they have the Nike shoes, the Air.
Yeah. The old school Air Nikes?
Yeah, from Michael
Or the Jordans?
Jordan,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Michael, what's his name?
Michael, that
That
guy.
one basketball player, that guy.
Yeah.
He was
and
he was on an adventure with Cartoon Rabbit at one
They
point.
had a transition how purses came around from like smaller to large.
Right.
Shirts. And they had Oscar de la Renta. They had kimonos. Went
That's
through all
crazy.
history that
Right. Around the world and all that.
yeah that how that we're wearing. And they show you like videos of that scene from The Devil Wears Prada
Yes.
where
Miranda.
Miranda tells her, oh, this is a simple belt, but it was created by the people.
Oh yeah, when discussing of even though your look is plain because you don't want to be in the world of fashion, you forget that somebody designed your plain
and
look,
then
so
it
you're
gets
still
mass
in the
produced,
fashion.
and then you buy it at
Yeah.
Target.
So you're
It was basically showing that how one piece
Yeah.
changed everything.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too because that means you can't really be an individual like if you have that mentality unless you make your own fucking clothes. But if you're
Yeah.
buying something off a rack, you're still out of style. You're still
Yeah.
in a style, no matter what you think that is.
I used to go to Europe a lot before I moved to
Oh,
Atlanta.
I've never been
because I
to
have
Europe.
family there, and I would buy clothes there. And Europe is like 2 seasons in front of us.
Yeah.
So I would come in and bring all these amazing clothes, like simple shirts are like $10.
I wish I could get into clothes. I just can't. Me? You know what my fashion is? Hoodie.
Hoodie.
I wear a hoodie like 5 days straight.
I look like
I love my hoodies.
I look like a homeless guy all day long, and people when I dress up, they're like,
Look at this. Is this home? This don't look home. This is awesome.
I mean, I knew
I can't pull that off.
I knew it was
can never
coming
pull
here.
that off.
I even wore like preppy clothes just in case,
Yeah.
but
I don't even comb my hair, man. I just I'm like, I'm good.
I look like I go to the bar in my pajamas sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't really fucking care.
In the onesies.
Oh, no, not like that. I don't look good in onesies.
With butt flap.
Yeah.
Easy access.
Well, I'm not that kind of easy asses. That part, But also, back to what I did in New York.
Yeah.
I went to the Frick collection. I saw a lot of art.
Mm-hmm.
And it inspires you because,
It really does.
art was what we do now in photography. You don't,
Yeah. But some art I just can't get. Like, did you see?
juicy.
Sometimes I don't get the art. I don't understand it.
Like
Sometimes I think it's
modern
just,
art?
hey, what can I do that's so outrageous that I can slap art on it and people will accept it? And it's the only way I'm gonna get away with it. Like that one woman, I forgot where it was, but they brought in a fucking water tank full of her piss.
Gross.
And then she stood. So now she has a crowd, right? There's people walking, and they're all looking. It's on display at a very fancy museum. And she just climbs up there, squats, and tops off the tank of pee with her, and she just pisses right in front of everybody. And everybody's like, "Ooh, it's so dramatic." And I'm sitting there like, you're watching somebody pissing in a giant, like literally a giant tank.
Is she
It's a
naked
giant-
too?
No, she just
Oh.
hikes up her skirt and just
I have very specific, I
like that kind of art. I just don't know.
I like the Italian movement.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah.
I like Renoir.
Yeah.
French movement.
I love neo noir type stuff. I don't know why. I love that.
I
craziness.
like Pollock.
Yeah.
It's just so and I'm like, yeah, it's all
splashes.
it's pretty, but it's interesting to see what makes it art.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of people just on drugs watching it, and then that's how you see it. Like they show up to an exhibit, tripping on shrooms, and then
I mean, Van Gogh took his ear off.
yeah, just
He must have done something.
Okay, so do you ever see, and this is completely out of left field types of questions, do you feel that in the future, hopefully, that people won't be as sensitive with, recreational drugs like weed and shrooms and shit like that? So we're to the point where you will go to a museum and the artist can recommend, hey, if you really want to see my art come alive, here's a little shroom for you.
But here's a release form.
Yeah, right. We're not responsible,
We're not
for whatever.
responsible for.
But do you see us going that way, or?
I mean, we're seeing it right now with Mary Jane.
Yeah, I just read today that Georgia's passing they're going with a bill to legalize it statewide. It's in the state senate right now. They're trying to push it in.
I enjoy that stuff from
The
time to
devil's
time.
lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
And it does move me sometimes.
Yeah. No, I love it.
But I know some people that literally get high on other stuff and they just do their stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. They feel something. But you don't always need it. Lady Gaga said that she was doing a lot of weed and other stuff. I think it's just weed. Don't quote me on this. But it was an interview. And she said, you don't need all that stuff to be an artist. You just have to feel moved.
Yeah.
And I love to feel moved. When I go traveling, I get moved. Like I went to shoot someone's house. And that's exciting for me because it's not a person. And it's a very controlled environment.
Right.
And then, we can take a picture of this. And we see this with lighting. But then you change the ISO. And it could be the most mysterious, most beautiful.
Yeah. No, people get amazed when I make daytime look like nighttime.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck is this? How did you do this?
And then you make that light look with it comes out.
Yeah.
That was insane. And the place was a gorgeous house. It's my friend Christopher Key's house.
Shout out.
Shout out to Chris. And
I
he has.
I heard you have a beautiful home, Chris.
He has a beautiful home. He also works with one of the drag tour companies called Maria Peter, and they will be in Atlanta with her Haters Roast. I will be there at the Bucket Theater. What day? I forgot.
Soon.
But he has a wonderful house, and it was just so eclectic, so colorful, and each room is just so everything was there was detail.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. The same
It's
thing
fun
with
shooting architecture though. I
Yeah,
actually got to
that's
travel
how-
across America because of architecture photography.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how my hobby when I was taking pictures as a hobby, I was obsessed with buildings, buildings and angles, and what is that called? Like you have,
The foam.
no, not the foam. Like they have the same like patterns.
Oh, patterns.
Patterns.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. I love architecture,
Symmetry. Yeah.
and I would go to buildings and just take
Have you tried using a tilt shift lens to do architecture yet?
a no.
Okay, so you know when you take a photo and it's a tall building and the perspective is kind of skewed.
Oh yeah, I took one of Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
It does not look like a Big Ben.
No.
No, it's just because I went as close as I could,
Right.
and I did like this,
Yeah.
and it's just like you have to give it a second thought. Or
No, I can imagine. And then so what the tilt shift does is it's literally a lens that just goes right, and then you're able to straight. So you got me doing that. Gina's got my wife does. Oh, drag queens. I'm saying stuff that drag queens say, and people are like, "What did
And
you
gets it.
just say?"
I say
There's
girl all the
taglines.
time.
There's always a good
I-
fucking tagline.
Is the click thing drag queen thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's big in the drag.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, now the more you know. But so that perspective is fixed. So all your lines get to go straight, even
Oh.
if you're like close.
Do you
to
have
it.
one?
No, sometimes I rent them.
Okay.
Like when I do architecture. So like it straightens all your lines out, and sometimes people use it for some crazy miniature effects. You ever see those kind of crazy little videos where everything looks very microscopic, even though
Yeah.
it's it's a real city. Tilt shift lens. So you should check it out, especially if you want to try to do some buildings. And stuff
There's
like
also a feature on Photoshop because lens has
yeah, the perspective fix.
you can change it back to.
I used to do that manually.
Oh.
I have to straighten my lines out manually. But I learned.
I also did insects
Oh, macro. Yeah.
and I miss doing that.
It's
'Cause-
fun. I had a mushroom phase.
Really?
Yeah, I just went around looking for awesome mushrooms. to
I did
photograph.
insects, animals. I would go on trails, and I would just get the most weirdest shit.
Are you an outdoorsy type?
Yeah,
person?
I love outdoorsy. I'm an Eagle Scout.
Scouts honor.
Scouts
honor.
I was
Were you a good scout?
yeah. I did my Eagle in 3 years, and after that, I volunteered. I was an adult leader for a long time. Before I moved, I stopped because it takes a lot of time
Yeah.
to do.
Commitment. Not commitment.
Yeah, and I got really. They were like my kids. I would pick them up.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah. I did camp counseling for about 2.5, almost 3 years.
yeah,
Yeah. They,
That's like for-
you get attached to them and they get attached to you.
6-7 years as an adult, and I would take my camera out, and I helped them do photography, merit badge.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you see a lot of things on trails, owls.
Yeah. Oh, I love going on a good hike.
I used to love to do flowers too.
Flowers are fun. You know what's a good hike here in Georgia?
Where?
It's about an hour and change north of here in Duluth. It's called Panther Creek. Have you heard of this?
We should go
It's fun. It's a good 4-hour
hike.
hike to and back.
Okay,
It ends at this watering hole with this huge waterfall. And
we should do it. I mean,
let's do it.
when
I'm always love to go at least once a week. It's not an easy hike, but it's a fun hike.
when you see ease, it's not easy.
A lot of up and down on hills, a lot of roots, and
Oh, that's
some parts
fun.
you can have to shimmy along a ledge where it's like 40, 50 foot drop into a river, and you're just like on the side of a
You might
mountain.
have to- that.
It's fun though. It's fun, and then there's parts that open up.
I'm with you on that.
It's a lot of fun. It's not as
Listen.
scary as I'm making it sound, but it's a lot of fun.
I hear hike, I'm like, no thanks.
I had a partner, and we went to. He was from England, and we did all the states. And he's like, "We're gonna do Mount Katahdin, which is the mountain, the start of the end, or the start from
The Appalachian
Appalachian
Yeah,
Trail."
yeah, yeah.
And that is a hard. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's fun. You're gonna do it, bitch." I'm scared of heights,
Yeah,
and there are metal parts so you can hold, so you can
yeah.
hold it and just a drop off.
Yeah.
And they tell you people die all the time here.
Watch your step, you might die. What?
It.
I don't even like the places that don't have handholds. Like, let alone if they had to put them
I
in.
can see
No.
if I can just imagine myself like
Just
whoa,
falling?
I'm like, ooh. And then the way down was we took a trail that was like literally like this, and then you just have to walk in that triangle, like that edge. And I was
Yeah.
like, I was so scared. I literally just got on my fours, which is not often, and
So he says.
and I was just like, I was scared shitless. But I'll do it. Like,
Well, that's not as scary as that. But like, it's almost you feel like you're.
It's Stone Mountain.
No. It's very woodsy. It's very huge trees and rivers. You're always walking by a river.
Woodsy,
You get to
there's
walk.
trees.
Yeah, you get to walk over like logs, over rivers and
Okay.
stuff like that. And I take my dogs.
Oh, the dogs can do it. I can do it.
I take my little Yorkie. I have a little Yorkie.
Yeah.
And everybody looks at me like, "You sure you want? He can make this trek?" I'm like, "Watch him."
There's a lot of trails in the city too.
Yeah, there's a
So I
I'll
do
let you know
that.
next time I go to Panther Creek. You love it. It's really
Yeah.
really fun. And there's a cool.
And you can
little
show
thing.
me camera techniques outside.
Yeah.
In the woods.
Sunset out.
Because you just
Magic.
did one from your.